Alabama is full of ghost stories.
Tales guaranteed to keep you awake at night.
But are these stories based on fact?
Or a result of imagination?
Will we find proof of the afterlife?
It may get spooky in here.
What is it about the month of October that sends an eerie chill up our spines? As those hot summer days begin to bleed into cool autumn nights, and the leaves begin to fall from the trees. Is it the joy of seeing regular homes turn into places only seen in nightmares? Seeing the children, eagerly picking out Halloween costumes, getting ready to go house to house, stocking up on candy. Is it the comfort we feel snuggling up to a loved one while we watch a horror movie marathon? What is it that makes us yearn for the feeling of being scared? Every October, thousands of people travel to haunted house attractions, looking to spend even just a little bit of time escaping reality, and entering the mindset that they are living out their very own horror movie. For some people, visiting these places just doesn't seem like enough. They don't simply want to visit a haunted house attraction. They want to build and create the places that keep us awake at night. But what happens if the house you buy to run your haunted house turns out to actually be haunted? That's exactly what happened to Todd Chandler, owner and operator of Columbia Manor. We left the comfort of our homestead, setting off on a 4-hour road trip to the manor. It was here where the real questions were asked. We've been driving on these lonely country roads for a while now, and where are the people? Where do you people who live out here get gas? Where? Do you use the methane from the cows? Because there's an abundance of cows. Where do you people shop? I need to know. Do you guys just... I mean, the abundance of cows, you can make as many steaks as you want, I guess. But... I'm sure you guys have seen the Flintstones when they're, running in the background. It's just the same picture, just looping back and forth. It's kind of what it's like when we go and shoot these episodes. We drive down this lonely... Yeah, that's prime Bigfoot territory right there. As we made our way to the manor, taking a moment to pass by the location for our third episode, we started brushing up on the history of the house to try and figure out who or what may be haunting it. Columbia Manor was first built in 1864. The manor was originally meant to be a college, but eventually became a hospital. In the late 1800s, the manor was converted into a sanitarium, where victims of a disease known as pellagra could be safely quarantined from society. Pellagra is a disease that causes delusions, or mental confusion. It's also known to cause dementia, severe depression, and scaly skin lesions. In some cases, especially in the late 1800s, pellagra also led to death. Columbia Manor had several natural deaths due to the disease, but disease wasn't the only thing that contributed to the house's death toll. Back before Todd was using the house to terrify both young and old, the manor belonged to Dr. John Yarborough. He worked both day and night to help the patients who were quarantined in the house, most of which spent their last days confined to the manor. There was even a whole section of the manor being used as the children's wing, back when the house was extended and had another level. Tragically, one night a fire broke out in the manor, claiming most of the top floor and completely destroying the children's wing, claiming the lives of several children who were quarantined there. Even to this very day, workers and visitors alike can still randomly catch a whiff of what smells like the burning wood from the fire, something we personally experienced in the dark hallway during our initial walkthrough. People also claim to have seen, heard, and felt the presence of a little girl in the house. Could she have been one of the many children who lost her life in the fire? There were several tragedies that have taken place in Columbia Manor over the years. It's easy to see how some of these spirits could have lingered behind. But according to the stories, not all deaths were natural or accidental. Dr. John Yarborough spent most of his time at the manor, treating those who were affected by pellagra. Being around his staff for several hours a day, it was only a matter of time before rumors began to spread that the doctor was having an affair with one of his nurses. While many people believed that these were just rumors and speculation, word made it to Yarborough's wife, who confronted both John and the nurse at the manor. And according to the legend, it wasn't long after that Dr. John Yarborough took his own life in the living room of the manor. And supposedly, not too much longer after that, the nurse hung herself from the chandelier in the front entrance of the mansion. Could the story of this forbidden love still be lingering in the many twists, turns, and secret passages of Columbia Manor? Given the house's tragic history, it's no wonder that when you first walk inside, you are greeted with the feeling of unseen eyes watching you from the shadows. From countless deaths due to disease, fire, possible murders, and suicide. Even being alone inside the mansion, you never truly feel that way. Something Sean and I experienced while doing our initial walkthrough and filming B-roll shots for the episode.
You said you saw it go this way, though?
Yeah, like, she was sitting in there, and I just see this shoulder, like, right here at this door, and it just, like, walked down the hallway.
After learning the history of the house, we decided that it was time to sit down with the man behind the madness. We were interested to find out exactly what it takes to buy an old house, find actors who are willing to stand in the dark waiting for the next victim to come around the corner, work day in and day out to make it as spooky as it can possibly be, and end up creating one of Alabama's most popular haunted house attractions. From a plethora of special guests, to letting paranormal investigators like ourselves stay the night in the manor. We were honored to be the very first group of investigators to actually sleep overnight in the manor during our investigation. So join our group as we explore the secrets and passageways of Columbia Manor.
Coming up.
And when she signed the dotted line, she looked at the realtor and laughed and said, "You tell that young man he has the perfect place for what he wants to do."
So we were just asking if they could say yes or no and make that light up. And Kevin turned on the spirit box, and we just heard a girl's voice say yes.
Like, pretty bad.
I'm Mr. Creepypasta, and you're watching Alabama's Most Haunted.
We had read all the stories.
We had toured the twists and turns of the graveyard, braved our way through Camp Crystal Lake, and found ourselves sitting down with Todd in the living room where Dr. Yarbrough had killed himself to discuss what it takes to run and how it feels to own Columbia Manor. We're here tonight with Todd Chandler, and he is the owner of the Columbia Manor. How long have you been the owner of the manor?
This is our 14th year. I actually bought the house in 2009, March 1st.
Okay, and what kind of drew you to the house? Was it just something you'd always seen? You were like, I want that, or?
Well, actually, I've been doing haunted houses for other people for several years. I always wanted my own place. I had a couple of different realtors looking for buildings, warehouses, or houses. I actually didn't know anything about this place, and just so happened it was a new listing. And we came and looked at it, and I knew the minute I walked in that this was the perfect place for what we needed. It had its own vibes and everything.
I know with the tour you gave us a little earlier, just walking through, I mean, if I was in your position, I'd probably feel the same way. As soon as we walked in there, I was like, oh, this place is haunted.
Oh,
no,
yes, definitely.
So can you tell me a little bit about how many people you have each year that come to the haunted house?
It varies. We average a little over 7,000. We had a great season this past season since we were closed for 2020 due to the COVID situation. We had a little over 10,000 customers this year in 13 nights. Our turnout as far as volunteers was excellent this year. Everybody worked real hard. We have about 100, 115 volunteers every night that show up. We also donate some of the money back to the Volunteer Fire Rescue Department here in Columbia. They're in here working hard with everybody. They was able to get a check for over $13,000 this year for their organization. And since we've been open, we've raised almost $100,000.
That is awesome.
It is awesome.
I'm not sure if you knew the house was haunted before you bought it, or was it something that you maybe, when you came in, started putting everything together, you were like, something feels off about this place, or?
I got a feeling. I never met the previous owner, but the realtor did all the transaction paperwork for us, and when I signed the dotted line, and when she signed the dotted line, she looked at the realtor and laughed and said, "You tell that young man he has the perfect place for what he wants to do." So the realtor, she laughed about that, and within probably 2 weeks of us moving in and starting renovating and checking out everything, it was very obvious there was a presence here. And the more we're in here, the more we see that it's not just one or two, that we have several different rooms and areas.
I know as me and Sean were walking around a little earlier, getting some B-roll shots and just, getting ourselves pumped for it, because this is, we feel like kids at a candy store in this place.
It's about 5,000 square foot in the main house.
Yeah, just me and him being in here, I think he had walked upstairs. I was down here in this first room we come into, and I heard some footsteps in the room back there. Well, I walked in there, I thought it was him. He's coming down the stairs, and he's like, I heard somebody following me down the stairs. I thought it was you. So it's kind of cool just to see, after the stories we've heard, we're kind of experiencing some of the same things. And I know you said you've heard footsteps several times.
Oh, yes. Yes, a lot of us. I'm not the only one. A lot of our volunteers and people over the years have experienced exactly what you're talking about. They'll hear someone walking up behind them, doors opening, closing. Sometimes we hear phantom music when there's no music played in the house. So they definitely like to play. They're more active in October. Some of our customers have actually seen and felt some of this stuff, and they say, "Hey, that was pretty cool what you did in that room." It's like, well, we didn't do anything in that particular area. It's the real ghost. So the house is very active. So they're wanting to spend some time with y'all tonight, I can tell.
Sounds good. I did a little bit of research on the house before we came out, and it used to be a doctor's office. Is that correct?
Yes. Years ago, when we first opened, we had another paranormal group come out and did some investigating, and they did some research for us and found out that it actually used to be a hospital. It was a quarantine place for a disease called pellagra, which is a vitamin deficiency syndrome. And the house was built around 1864, so it does have a lot of its own history. But being a quarantine place, there's a lot of natural deaths that took place in this house. We found out that there were some murders over the years, some suicides over the years. The spirits, I won't say are not at rest, but they're not harmful, but they do like to play.
Yeah.
So we can tell with different vibes or people that are in here, the bigger crowds we have, they are definitely a lot more active.
I know you'd mentioned a little earlier, there's a specific spirit of a little girl who likes to mess with the men who come in the house.
Yes. The previous owner's grandson asked me not too long after I bought the house, have I seen the little girl? And at that time we hadn't seen or heard anything. A couple of us was in here working one day, and we heard footsteps running down the hardwood floors back in the back half of the house, and then we heard a little giggle. And once we got open, some of our customers said that, hey, I thought y'all were a no-touch house. Somebody just touched me or pulled at my clothes. And we started figuring out that it's the little girl, but she does not mess with the ladies or anything like that. It's just always the male people that she likes to cut up with and play with.
Well, Sean, wherever you are, we might be in for it tonight, man. Just saying. One thing I'd read online about the doctor.
Yes.
Was there maybe something he had done that he wasn't supposed to do?
I don't think so. The story that we had heard was he was having an affair with one of his nurses, and he was married. Now, as far as the spirits being at unrest with him, I don't think so, because he was contributing to finding a cure for this disease.
Yeah.
I don't think it was kind of like the house on Haunted Hill, where he was torturing anybody like that. I just think a lot of people that had passed, especially during that time frame, are still here in this old house. It's kind of like they're just hanging out here. But I don't think the doctor did anything bad. From what I've gathered, he was a good doctor. But he made an untimely demise, and so did the lady in this house, is what we've been told.
Do you think maybe they're here because, you know, a lot of them spent their last days here? Do you think it's something that was familiar to them?
Yes, I do. Especially the ones that were quarantined here for the last part of their lives. This is something that they've just grown accustomed to being here.
Understandable. Now, all the things that have been experienced over the years, it's been over like a course of, you said 14 years, correct?
Yes, this will be our 14th year we're going into.
Okay. And do you feel like whatever might still be here, do you think it's calmed down? Do you feel like it's picked up?
Definitely has picked up. I think since we were not open last year, the spirits missed our customers, and I know our customers missed them because we had a very large crowd this year. And it seemed like the customers as well as our volunteers was having a lot more experiences this past year. So they're definitely not gone. They still are definitely here and ready to play.
Not gone and not forgotten.
That's true. Not forgotten.
Well, yeah, guys, we're getting ready to set up for the night. We want to thank Todd very much for letting us come out. This place is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody works very hard on it. It's not just one person. I tell everybody it takes a large crew to be able to present this to the customers, and I'm thankful for everybody that volunteers and works, and especially to the customers that comes through it every year.
And just walking through, you can definitely tell it's a labor of love. And you know, for all of you who have never been here, this is our first time being here. I'm not leaving. I'm moving in. They got a nice bed in here. I'm sleeping there. But definitely come check this place out. The payments go towards a good cause. And if you want to experience an actual haunted house that's actually haunted, look no farther than Columbia Manor. After our interview with Todd, we spent the last few hours of daylight exploring and having maybe just a little too much fun before starting our investigation.
Yes. Squill your fancy, son.
Someone sold me a brandy.
Coming up.
I think she's more comfortable with us now.
Could you point to Todd?
Walking down the hallway, I hear what sounds like a man go behind us.
That's what I heard.
I told you.
That is what I heard. When you're flying in an airplane.
Did you hear that?
Night was quickly approaching at Columbia Manor. After spending the last few hours of daylight exploring and feeling right at home,
She's so terrified!
we decided to begin our investigation. It didn't take long before Sean and I were experiencing some things in the house, including one of our camera's batteries draining, almost instantly.
I can't tell if what I'm hearing is that or not.
Okay, there's stories and rumors that a nurse hung herself in this main room here from the chandelier. If that was you, can you give us a sign? Can you maybe move the chandelier, make it swing from side to side, move one of the crystals, make a noise somewhere in the house? Just let us know that you're here tonight. Dead still.
But I keep feeling like something wants us to go back there, back that way again.
Okay, then Rachel, I wish we would have brought walkies.
Yeah.
This main thing I don't want is for us to think it's something in it being them. Did you just say something right before you said you don't know where they went? Did you not hear that? Something.
I hear them.
I heard a dude's voice. It was like, and then you were like, I don't know where they went. But it was like,
It sounded like it was behind you or in this one?
it sounded like it was in this room.
If you're here in this room with us, you think you can close that door? Could you maybe...
Sean and I were trying to determine the source of the male voice in the room. Several orbs were flying around. We decided to try a new piece of equipment. Okay, we have a new device on this bed here. I don't really know the exact name for it. I'm just going to call it the yes and no box. If you touch the other little box on top of it on the left side, you'll light up the red lights. If you touch the ones on the bottom right, you'll light up the green. Basically, we're going to use this to ask yes or no questions. If you touch the ones on the bottom right, you'll light up. Basically, we're going to use this to ask yes or no questions. Are you here with us tonight? As soon as I asked it.
Dude, yours died?
Died completely.
My camera, my screen, like, it was almost like something went, but like black, like a black, like.
Seriously, as soon as I asked, are you here with us tonight, this thing died.
If you need any energy, feel free to take it from our cameras, our phones, whatever you need. We just want to make contact with you.
After my camera dies, a black mass seems to move in front of Sean's frame. I decided to leave Sean alone in the room while I went to plug up my camera.
So we were just asking if they could say yes or no and make that light up. And Kevin turned on the spirit box, and we just heard a girl's voice say yes.
Yeah, just came through and said yes. Where does he ask that question?
I've got to run and plug this camera back up because as soon as we set all this up, so Sean's going to stay here. He's going to have a spirit box, K2, and the yes or no box. And he's going to see what he can catch and make sure that doesn't interfere with it. While Sean prepared to spend some time in the manor alone, I ran back to the wardrobe shed. Kayla and Rachel were preparing to make their way into the manor.
That's the audio or something. Oh wow, this is weird. Okay, that was... Okay, this is weird through the camera. I don't think it's anything, but how I'm looking, it looks like there's a person back there. See that little in the doorway? But it's not. I think it's just how the wall is. See, like right there, but it's not. It looked like a person was standing there.
We've got multiple devices laying on the bed. One of them you can make... Oh, I wish I wasn't talking. I don't know what that just said. If that was you, can you say that again, please?
Sean's equipment started to die off one by one. Kayla and Rachel made their way into the manor. I met back up with them in time to hear Rachel telling about something she had just experienced. Something very familiar.
So, we went up to the doll room again?
Yeah.
You know how first when we were going up that way, I had the pressure here?
Yeah.
Right here in a little spot, almost like someone jabbed me or something. Just my shoulder went numb.
I wonder if it's that little girl. You know, he said she likes to touch the dudes.
Yeah.
You could have worded that better.
I really could have.
When
Mark
Kayla
Ray.
and I went up to the nurse's office, we were staying in that little area and we were just like, hey, if anyone needs help, we were from the nurse's office. And then we walked out and then we were walking down the hallway and I hear what sounded like a man go, huh, behind us.
That's what I heard.
I told
That
you.
is what I heard.
There's a man or something like tapped behind us and I jumped and I turned and looked at him, like, did you hear that?
We were walking into here, and we were like, I wonder where Kayla and Rachel are. And then I hear, huh. And then he's like, I don't know where they are. And I thought he had, like, cleared his throat or something before he said that, but he was like, no, hell no. We met back up with Todd in the main room. Rachel decided to use her dowsing rods to see if she can get any activity.
And then we asked if she liked Rachel, and she said yes. We asked if she liked me, she said yes. I think she's more comfortable with us now.
Could you point to Todd?
Yep.
Could you point to Sean?
Trying to.
That's the one. Oh, there we go. That's amazing. Hello.
Can you point to me? If you'll do it, it's so cool how this does. But she probably won't though.
There you are. Trying to.
Over there.
Oh, there it goes, there it goes. Oh, there you go.
Yay, thank you.
Good job.
You're over there. You're against the wall.
Oh my.
Rachel, Kayla, and Todd set off with the dowsing rods, as well as a few trigger objects. Sean and I continued to feel like we were being pulled to certain sections of the house.
It's also coming from that. Like, pretty bad. It's coming out of the room bad.
Yeah,
Like, I'm surprised to hear people talk about headaches and stuff.
true.
But then, I mean, even in the middle of the room.
Little did we know what the night had in store for us.
Coming up.
The feeling in my chest was like gone completely now as I started walking down these steps. But dude, I swear, it felt like somebody just squeezed me like right there or something.
Alright, I'm chilling in the crawl space. I heard that you really like the crawl space, Sally. Trying to get you over to the other house and get a better light on it, but yeah, you've got a red mark, dude.
Hey kids, here comes Peter together. Parents, set boundaries, and it's time to be home. Carry a flashlight for extra safety, and let's all have a safe Halloween.
Strange things were already taking place at Columbia Manor. Rachel, Kayla, and Todd were spending some time in the lower level. We were using a new external microphone for Kayla's camera. Unfortunately, the microphone wasn't switched on during setup, so a lot of the clips filmed on this camera ended up with absolutely no audio. While this was happening, Sean and I had grabbed the spirit box, and were preparing to head to the doll room with another new piece of equipment. Are you here with us tonight? Can you make a sound for me? Yes. Even before we could get upstairs, voices were coming through the spirit box, including this one that seemed to be trying to warn me that I was about to walk into the door frame. We made our way up the stairs to the doll room, ready to try out a new piece of equipment.
We'll put it on this doll's hand right here. Okay, this is a new piece of equipment we have. Basically, we'll turn this on. It's going to be extremely loud right as we turn it on because I'm so close to this piece. But once I walk away, it should be silent. And the theory behind it is if you want a spirit or ghost to touch this, it'll make this thing beep and go off and be loud. So I'm just going to lay this right here. Probably just scared the crap out of them. Probably. And we're just going to leave that recording while we walk through the house and see if anything happens. If there's anybody up here that wants to let us know that you're here, all you have to do is touch this hand on this doll and that'll beep just like that, okay? So we're going to keep walking through the house and feel free to give us a sign that you're here.
As we prepared to make our way back downstairs, Sean suddenly felt as though something grabbed his shoulder.
Feeling in my chest is like gone completely now as I started walking down these steps. But dude, I swear, it felt like somebody just squeezed me like right there or something. Whoa.
This made me think of something similar that happened to Todd one night alone in the manor.
It was real weird. I come in here one night, and at the time we would shut power off at the house when we would leave, and it was one night I forgot something in here. And knowing the house as well as I do, I just come in here sometimes in the dark, and I had got the item that I forgot, and when I walked into what we call the dark hallway, put my hand on the emergency exit door, I felt, first I heard steps coming down the hallway toward me, and I felt something grab my arm, and as it did, the goosebumps went from my elbow to my fingers, and then I felt the hand slide up into my neck. And I knew it definitely was something there.
We made our way to the morgue when we decided to see if we can get something to close one of the doors for us. Sean was running the full spectrum on his camera. Can you move that door at the end of this casket?
Hey Gene, if you're in the stairwell, can you come down and close this door for us, please?
Yeah.
If you're in the stairwell, can you come down and close this door for us, please? Did you hear those footsteps?
Yeah.
Whoa. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Was that them?
Honestly, don't know.
It sounded like it was straight ahead of us, but... Hey, guys! It was them. Dang. Whoa. What the? Dude. Wait, where are you? On the ground?
Yeah.
I just got a shadow that moved. It was right here. Can you see my finger?
Yeah.
It was here. And it moved that way. Like a full on just black shadow.
Sean captured this large shadow moving along the wall. At the time, I was still crouched in the floor. With this full spectrum going, for something not supernatural to create the shadow, it would have to be standing in front of his camera. Watch as Sean's finger creates a shadow in the spectrum light. Then the dark shadow comes back without Sean noticing, running back to the right. Unfortunately, the slamming door we heard was just Rachel and Kayla, making their way back to the makeup shed. At this point, Todd was meeting up with Sean and I to tell us he would soon be heading back to his house for dinner. He walked us out to the graveyard to leave a camera rolling while we also prepared to snag a bite to eat before starting our live investigation. As we were walking out of the cemetery, however, Kayla and Rachel were walking back from the makeup shed, where they heard all the animatronics in one section of the manor going off, all of which are activated by motion sensor. They went to investigate while we were setting up our camera in the cemetery. We're not sure exactly what was causing these animatronics to go off on their own. But as Kayla and Rachel slowly approached the area of the manor where the animatronics were located, even more of them began to start up. Before heading out to get some pizza for dinner before starting our live feed, Sean and I went back into the manor alone. It was here that something completely unexpected happened.
Coming up.
Is there anybody here with me tonight? I've lost a lot of blood. There's some blood bags over there. Can you get one of those blood bags for me?
Right there on top of that doll is a motion sensor that sets off an alarm.
I'm gonna have to get you over to the other house and get a better light on it, but yeah, you've got a red mark, dude.
Now it's time for the Pizza Head Show.
Hey everybody, I'm done trick-or-treating and I'm gonna go for a stuffed crust pizza at Pizza Hut. Yay!
Not yet, Pizza Head. There's one more place to go.
I don't think anyone's home.
Sure there is.
Whoa, trick-or-treat! Let me see my goodness on this pizza.
Quick, Pizza Head, let's go upstairs.
Hey, who lives here anyway?
It's your host, Count Steve.
Oh, that's crazy, man. I want my pizza now!
Count will be happy to give you a lift. See you next time.
We met back up with Todd after getting some dinner. We decided it was time to start both our Facebook and Instagram live feeds for roughly an hour. But of course, while investigating a haunted house attraction with an abundance of costumes to our disposal, we simply couldn't pass up this golden opportunity.
Alright, this is Kevin, the Wolfman Walden. We're here at the Columbia Manor, about to start this live investigation. We figured we'd get in the spirit of things, so we're dressed up. Rachel's Freddy Krueger. Sean, what are you?
I don't know. I'm like an 80s rocker skeleton Grim Reaper or something, I don't know.
That was a whole lot of words.
What's up? Hi, Mama. I like the, okay, alright. Say no more. Where are we going? Alright, so we're here tonight in the Columbia Manor. I don't know who can and can't hear me, because I'm talking through this mask currently. Are you on Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook.
Okay, good deal.
What up, Facebook? It's your boy,
The Grim Reaper.
the Grim Reaper, from the 80s.
For anybody watching, this place has been amazing so far. We've gotten all kind of activity.
Like the lobby.
So, anyway, we've gotten all kind of activity. Me and Sean have experienced some very crazy things. I'm about to lose this mask because I'm dying.
Good. Are you done, Sean?
Reap.
I've been reaped. Alright.
I'm not far.
We made our way to the house, making our way upstairs to the doll room to conduct a spirit box session.
Alright, so some things we got set up in here. Right there on top of that doll is a motion sensor that it sets off an alarm.
Play? Yeah, that was a girl's voice and it said play.
Play?
She wants to play.
We just heard a voice say play on the spirit box.
We were up here earlier and we played a game with you. Do you want to play again?
No, Jonathan. My husband.
You want to play hide and go seek? We lit up for a second.
I'm gonna run back downstairs and grab something real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Beep.
Kevin got up.
Can you follow Kevin down the stairs?
Hey, where's the ball?
Downstairs.
Where's the ball?
Can you tell us
Misty, we would love to come back to Tanny Hill one day.
Definitely. Can you tell us your name?
Play.
Did she say play again?
She wants to play.
A little girl just said play.
That's twice now.
What game do you want to play? Earlier you liked it when we played hide and go seek. You want us to start counting? We brought a life-size doll up here if you want to come play with her.
Christy, yes, we are spending the night inside the manor. We brought air mattresses.
Hard knock.
Sounds like it wants to come through.
Both the Facebook and Instagram live feeds are available on their respective sites. We want to touch on some of the more crazier things that happened. At one point I decided to try out our EMF alarm on some old medical equipment while I acted like a patient in need in the hospital section of the manor.
Alright guys, I'll tell you what. I'm going to lose you here for a second. I won't be able to read the comments. Is that you? Can you touch that bag again? Can you touch the bag and make the alarm go off? All you gotta do is touch that blood bag there. Alright guys, I'm going to try something real quick. I'm not going to be able to read or reply to your comments for just a minute. I don't even know if this is going to work. Hopefully Kayla's phone doesn't fall back there. Make sure I'm not going to fall back here. Is there anybody here with me tonight? I've lost a lot of blood. There's some blood bags over there. Can you get one of those blood bags for me? All you gotta do is touch one of them. Can you make a sound for me? I don't even know if you guys can see me or not, but I'm trying to see if I can get some kind of response. If you're here, can you touch that device over there on the blood bag? It'll make an alarm go off. Lets me know that you're here. Alright, I'll tell you what, we're gonna leave that hooked up. We're gonna leave that hooked up to that blood bag there. And if we hear it going off, well, something's messing with it. I'm gonna kind of keep the camera low in a couple of these rooms because we were asked by Todd not to show everything they have here, just to kind of keep everything a surprise for anybody who wants to come through the haunted trail, which we completely understand and respect. They put a lot of work into this haunted house. Brianna, Miranda. I'll have to go back and watch the video. I wasn't looking at it right then. Side note, whoever did that needs to go to a hospital immediately. This place is a maze. Go see if anybody's back there. Orb flew by right then. Is that you messing with the blood bag? While I was experiencing these things in the hospital area, Kayla, Rachel, and Sean were setting up our SLS camera, walking around trying to find figures. We had heard all day from Todd, as well as one of Columbia's volunteer firefighters, that the spirits reacted more to the males who visited the manor. Sean and I wanted to test this theory, so we asked Kayla and Rachel if they would mind going to get warm while we walked around with the SLS. We eventually made our way to the crawl space. Sally's crawl space. Okay, we have a proposition for you ladies.
What?
We were gonna see if you guys wanted to, like, go out of the house and let us go back up to the doll room like it was when all the stuff was going on. Yeah, y'all can go get warm. We'll go up there and...
It's really cool.
Okay. We'll go see if we can get anything to happen.
They're kicking us out, guys.
It's fine. I'm cool with it. I'm cold.
We don't want to be
Rachel,
part
you
of
have
the
no
group.
skeleton.
I have no skeleton. I'm dead.
Oh, now you do. Now that you're stood up.
She only has a skeleton when she stands.
Yeah. You were just mashed potatoes when you were sitting there.
Mashed potatoes.
Speaking of mashed potatoes.
Are we still running the Instagram, or was that...
No, we killed it.
Okay.
Slim was the only person watching.
Yeah.
Cool.
You get us all back now? Oh, yeah. Here's your phone.
Thank you.
Now you have two.
Yeah.
We're going to have...
Alrighty. I think we're gonna run this live feed for another 15-20 minutes, then call it so we can get to the actual investigation for the episode.
Yeah.
So just so everybody knows, everybody watching, surprise.
Rachel was just doing a straight up Michael Jackson jig on this thing. Like,
Oh! You sit in the crawl space with the doll Sally might play.
oh, let's definitely
let's
do
do
that
that.
for the live feed.
Let's go. I was about to go right to the bathroom.
Red room, red room.
Red room. Red room. I'm gonna try to keep this one kind of secret from everybody.
Time to duck.
Did you bash your head again?
Again.
Dude, I do it every time I come through here.
Good. It's not just me then. Whoa, 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 whoa.
What's up?
Figure.
Oh,
Figure. Sitting.
dude, it's sitting against that wall.
You can see it better right here on the small one.
Yeah, it's sitting against the wall. Just had an orb fly right by you.
Sally, is that you?
Can you wave to us?
It's like... It's like right in front of me.
Yeah, it's like it's just propped up against the wall. And that dude said that she likes to play in this little crawl space.
Yeah. Do you want to play a game, Sally? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, can you move? Can you move like away from me a little bit?
Sally, can you run or crawl down towards the doll room? Dude, the way it's sitting, it's kind of like it's holding a pipe to its mouth or something. Oh, she gone.
I was trying to... Dang.
She's gone. Point it down the hallway, see if she ran down there.
Where'd you go, Sally?
Sally, do you want to play with the dolls? We had several requests in the live feed to leave a doll in the crawl space for Sally to play with. So Sean and I set one up with our EMF alarm attached. After a while, we made our way back downstairs, leaving the doll alone, as we prepared to meet back up with Rachel and Kayla, who had warmed up and were lost out in the cemetery. We suddenly heard the alarm going off upstairs.
Room. This whole room. Is that the radio, or did that just beep?
I think it just went off. It was like beep, 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 beep. We made our way back upstairs. I crawled into the crawl space with the doll, hoping to get some kind of response from Sally while Sean ran the spirit box. Alright, I'm chilling in the crawl space. I heard that you really like the crawl space. Sally? Sally, do you want to play in the crawl space? What's strange about this is that the voices only seem to be caught on our camera's audio. At one point, Sean even says he's going to turn off the spirit box, because nothing seems to be coming through it. Alright, I'm chilling in the crawl space. I heard that you really like the crawl space. Sally? Sally, do you want to play in the crawl space?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn this off since we're not getting anything on it.
Okay. Kayla and Rachel had found their way out of the cemetery and were wandering the maze just outside the manor as Sean and I began to head their way to meet up with them.
Okay, we're gonna leave you for a little while. We'll come back again later and play though, okay?
What's up?
There was all kinds of freaking movement behind me just now.
What'd it sound like?
Like somebody just scurried off.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not even joking. Like it sounded like little shuffling of feet or something, right? Not up the stairs, like at the top of the stairs.
Like it went back towards the doll room?
Yeah. I was like, we'll come back later and play, and it was like...
If that was you, can you touch that device up there again? Just make it beep?
Better get to the toy chest, that's home base.
What?
Better get to the toy chest, that's home base.
What?
What was that?
What?
I heard something move. What was it?
There was something right here, dude. I saw it through this. Like, this is what it looked like from my perspective there.
Dude.
Something's hand was here, and it went...
Dude, I heard the sound.
Yeah, dude, it was a hand, and it just... Holy crap.
Dude, this is awesome. Thank you for playing with us. We'll be back later.
We'll be back. Holy crap, man.
Dude. I didn't see it, but man, I swear I could hear it.
Like, seriously, the hand was there, and it made those sheets that are hanging there move, and it was just like it went...
That's what the noise... Yeah, that's what that noise must have been. Because I heard the whoosh, and you were like, no way. No way.
God, I wish I would have been filming.
Oh, man. Dude. Dude.
I'm living here.
Yes, please. We got a long way to move.
Oh, yeah. Oh man, that's awesome.
Dude, the fact that... Oh, I wish I could have seen it, but the fact that I also heard it and you saw it.
I swear it was like, because I heard the noise first.
Huh?
And as I turned to look through those things hanging down, I see the hand on that bed. It pulls back, and something goes around the corner, and those sheets were just like... What's up?
That was weird. I don't know what that was. It felt like almost like something brushed across my neck.
Might be that radio?
Hear that?
Yeah. What did you K2?
Huh. Even at the doorway? I don't think it's done at the doorway. I don't know, maybe? center of the room, but I don't know what to do. Dude, is there anything weird on my neck right now? The back of my neck?
Let me get my flashlight on.
Because I got like a burning feeling going on.
Dude.
What?
Hold up. Let me. What's going on, man?
Dude, it's like burning. Like it feels like yeah, kind of like spring villa. Whoa, did you just like, when you breathed on it, it burned?
I'm not breathing on it, man.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, I
I'm
felt
like
cold air or something.
If I breathed, it would go right here.
Okay, I don't know what that was. It felt like cold air.
I'm gonna have to get you over to the other house and get a better light on it. But yeah, you've got a red mark, dude.
Dude.
Let me get a picture.
I know I felt something on the What? What? Did you hear the 2 clicks?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's doing, man.
Alright, we got back over to the makeup room of the place. I'm not sure why, but it's not showing up too well on here. It's also not as bad as it was. But I got that picture of it.
Yeah.
After hearing something slide across the bed and seeing a hand with my own eyes, as well as Sean feeling as though something ran across his neck, the next morning while discussing these things with Todd, he informed us that several of his actors and guests have experienced similar things. With daylight slowly approaching, we decided to get some sleep, setting up in the prom room from Carrie. It was then that we realized the door to the manor only locked by a key from the outside, with no way to lock it from the inside. We began to wonder if this was Todd's evil plan to sneak in during the night, slaughter us in our sleep, and use our corpses as sick decorations in his house of horrors. While we slept, however, the house still had one last surprise for us. While going over footage and editing this episode, I found a clip on Sean's camera with a timestamp that indicates it was filmed around 5:15 a.m. while we were all sleeping. Listen to these strange sounds and what can best be described as voices. It's highly probable the time was just wrong on Sean's camera given the timestamp. As much as I would love to imagine a ghost walking around with one of our cameras, I honestly don't see that happening. Regardless, I still can't explain the strange sounds and voices that were captured on the camera's audio. Our trip to Columbia Manor was nothing short of amazing. Hearing all the tragic history that took place in its hallways and corridors, it's easy to see how tales of the paranormal can live and thrive within. especially during the Halloween season. If you're looking for a real thrill this Halloween, be sure to put this place at the top of your list. So if you find yourself double locking your doors, checking behind the shower curtain, or looking under the bed, it's a safe bet you spent some time at Columbia Manor. A paranormal hotspot we're happy to call one.
Play.
Did she say play again?
Of Alabama's most haunted.
And here we see the Kevin in his natural habitat. Get the ball, boy! Get the ball! 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 Go get it! Go get it! Ah! Fetch! Fetch!
Get that open. Huh?
Freddy! Freddy!
I'm dead.
Pregnant Freddy.
One, two, Freddy's coming for you.
Craggy Freddy.
3, 4, not alone no more. Had a different tape last time. 5, 6, your baby kick. 7, 8, you're gonna stay up late.
Yep.
9, 10, never have kids again.
Dang.
Excuse me. They're talking to us.
Just start floating. Sean's on the roof.
We got 12 feet.
He's like, meow.
Yes. Squill your fancy, son.
Someone poured me a brandy.
Give me some of that, Jack.